we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done.
G'day, welcome to Art with Alice, and today I'm just going to be showing you what I do to make jewellery. I've just done a pour. That video might be up already, and I'll show you a quick pic of it here. And now I'm going to do some dipping of what's called cabochons into the poured off paint. So there's some really pretty parts. I might actually bring that down a bit closer. Okay, so what you can see here is some really pretty metallic poured off paint. So I'm going to find the prettiest of spots to dip one of these in. So what I've got here, it's a glass cabochon. It's basically just glass in the shape of a dome. Here I've got a tissue with some dogs behind me deciding to play with some alcohol. So I'm just going to wipe that on there, which is where I put some of it. Double check that that's all lovely and clear. And now I find where I want to dip it. And just go like that. Make sure it's all covered, lift it up. Then you'll find there's a bit of a drip on the bottom. So you just let that come off, just touch it. Better watch what I'm doing in real life, not through the viewfinder. And then twist it around to let the weight of the paint go back to the middle. And then we don't have, what's on that side's really pretty, but that's not what we're going to see. What we're going to see is just what it was dipped in is exactly what will come out as. I'll show you this when it's dry actually, and you can see. And I'll just do the same now with some little ones. Right, so now I've got some little ones which will do for earrings, so then we can have some matching earrings with the pendant. Yeah, that one was more green than the rest. And now it's got a different sort of a pattern, so they may or may not match. But won't really know until it's dried enough to have a look at them off the... Okay, what I've got here, I should have explained, this is a golf tee. A golf tee with a bit of poster putty and then the cabochon on top. And so I'll just do the other one, just wipe that on the tissue, double check it looks good. Sorry if my hand's shaking, it's just, if I was to put it up on the holder, you're not really going to see anything because it's too high up. Try and find a nice part and let that touch something. Twist it around. Sorry, you're out of view. I had to watch it in real life, not through the viewfinder. All right, and right now I've just popped them in that. But normally I put them in some polystyrene, but that's in the other room. All right, I'll do a few more with you looking down from up high. Right, now something else you can do, like this part here, it's all very pretty with the metallics and everything, but it's a little bit boring because it's kind of all just, yeah, there's not much differentiation between the colours. So what you can do is you can get some paint, and just let a little bit drip into an area. I might do it in a couple of spots because I'll need some for earrings as well. Just do that, and then get this is just a bamboo skewer, and then just run that through. And then you get a bit of a pattern, and I might get a different colour as well, maybe a little bit of this purple. Yep. That's rather a big drop. And then basically you just play with it until you decide that you've got something that you like, that you would like to have as a pattern inside or on your pendant. Maybe a little bit more of the white. Ooh dear. That's okay. It's quite pretty, isn't it? Just like that. It's made a pretty pattern. So, got here my glass cabochon on top of my golf tee. It's a wooden golf tee, trying to be environmental. Dog playing in the background, and a bit of poster putty to hold it on. So just pop that on there, make sure it's touched all of it. What I normally do is I kind of sort of go like that, so it ends up going over all of it, and just let the excess come off. Anyway, I'll show you the dried result in the end, but you can kind of see in there. So we'll put that to dry and do a couple matching for the earrings. So I'll just put you down a bit closer. So what you do is you just wipe over this with it's got tissue with some of the alcohol on it, and then use the dry bit to dry it off, and then you check that you haven't got any smudges on it. Alright, so they're ready to go. Just put them out the way ready. And now I'll because I need that to match the pendant, so we've got to do something similar. So we had a bit of white. And a bit of purple. Oh, a lot of purple. Alright, so this time I'll try and wipe all of it off. Just get a little bit on there. And then with the skewer, it's quite easy, you just run it through backwards and forwards a few times, and you get a nice pretty pattern quite easily. And now, just trying to see if you can see. So now I'll try and centre that up and pop that on there. Let the drip come off. You don't want too much paint on the base of your cabochon because you've got to glue it onto the tray. I mean, a fair amount's okay, but you don't want a huge amount. And then this one. Get the drip off. And then in the background I've got dogs. They're chewing on some firewood actually. I'd rather they chew on firewood than everything else in the house. Alright, so we'll let those dry. And then I'll show you what they look like. But yeah, meanwhile, like you can look around and see, even when you pull them off, you often end up with a lovely pattern underneath. So you can keep going and keep going and keep going. You know, sometimes I spend hours doing this. But yeah, I think it's really quite pretty. And of course, you know, you can, with the same background, I could add different colours. You know, maybe over here. Can you see that bit? Over there. Yeah, it's just, I'll turn it around a little bit. And maybe I'll add a little bit of the sea green. And a little bit of, what else have we got? Maybe a little bit of this aquamarine. It's a big glob. And some white. So we start off with a pretty background, right? And then with your skewer, just do this till you find that you've made a pretty pattern. And if you haven't, you keep going. Yeah, it's a bit ordinary. Add a little bit more of the deep green. Sometimes just touching it on your paint and just check you haven't got any on the base of your spoon, whatever you've got. Just that addition of the dark there, that actually looks quite pretty, just how it is, doesn't it? There's a bit boring, it's all too much the same. Bring something else up through there. I'd add a bit more of that green. See, now I've got a little bit of that on there, so don't want to be putting that back in your paint. There we are. That's quite pretty. What you can do too, like over here I've got plenty of white, I could just scoop a bit up from there and put it on. There we are, that's nice. Just give this a wipe. Push it on firmly. Give it a wipe. Wipe it with the dry part. Double check it hasn't got any smudges. And then find the best place and dip it in exactly where it touches is exactly the pattern you're going to end up with. Get the drip off. Turn it around. Let the paint go back to the middle. And if you can see a little bit there. And if you don't like it, at the end, if you go, oh, I don't like that after it's dried, it doesn't matter actually. You can just pop it in some water and it just peels off. So you haven't wasted your glass cabochon. You can use it again. So there's no harm in trying. It's the teeniest, weeniest bit of paint. It's not like you're wasting anything. So yeah, oh, there's some beautiful colours in here actually, all by themselves. Can you see that? Let me just have a look. I'll turn it around a little bit more. See if I can pull it down a little bit more too. Well, I've run out of the round ones, but I've got these oblong ones. I'll tell you what, sometimes when you get them, they're packaged so badly. Sometimes they're in with their trays and they get all scratched up. But this lot, oh, they've packaged them so well. They're all in their individual little packets, so they haven't got scratched, which is what can happen when they're just rolling around loose. So just on the rounded part, you squash that down like that, and then get your cloth with the alcohol in it. Just wipe it, make sure it's, give it another squash down, completely clean. Puppy playing. Hey, hey. And now find the prettiest part. Oh, it's gorgeous there. Now it might not quite fit this, so what I'll do, because it seems to come in there a bit, and this is a bit wider, so if I start on this side and then gently squeeze it over, it got there. There we are. Let's see if we've got any excess. Let's head it towards a corner. Just let it drip off. Turn it around. Let it go back to the middle. Actually, you can see that one because it's so big. That's actually really pretty. Love it. Now the hard part now is to match it up for the earrings, because sometimes when there's only a small part that looks like it has that sort of pattern on it, you then need to find how you can get your earrings in there, because this part's all changed how it looks. So somehow I've got to get 2 earrings out of that lot. I was going to go for oblong earrings, but they won't be enough space unless I can see it. Yeah, I guess over here is similar, isn't it? And over there, yeah. All right. Because the pendant's oblong, it's just thought it'd be good to match it with oblong earrings. So just squash those on and give them a clean. Find the bit that's got to check sometimes it dries up because it is alcohol. Wipe them, dry them, kind of polish it. Double check that there's no smudges, and then find where to dip them. Yeah, as I said, because these are longer, you've got to find... Hopefully this will match, because that had a bit of white in it, didn't it? Let me have another look at it. A lot of purple, teeny weeny bit of white up there. Maybe I can try and incorporate a little bit of white. Maybe just... bring a bit of white up into there. Just get a tiny bit of that on it. Squash it down. Well, you don't squash it down, you just touch it. You don't need to squash it down. I did squash out a bit further than normal actually, but it just needs to touch the paint. And then bring that back up. What's that looking like? Yeah, I think that'll match nicely. And now the other one. So let me see. I think maybe this over here. There. So the hard part is getting them to match as best as possible, because it had a lot of purple in it. So yeah, I might just add a tiny bit of white into here. So I could pick up a bit of white from here. And then just... So you kind of smear it across like that. And then you can do this sort of thing. Don't want too much white because there's only the faintest bit of white in those other ones. Remember, whatever you're doing is also altering the pattern behind. So I might just... might grab a bit of this green as well. Just a tiny bit. That's too much. Alright, I think that's interesting. So we just need a little, mainly the purple with a little bit of that other in it. Make sure it's touched all sides. And then let it drip. If you let it touch another drip, it helps it to pull the paint off. And then twist it round. Now it doesn't matter if you get it on the sides of your cabochon or even around the top, because later on, once it's dried, you just then can scrape that off easily. Alright, so I'll just leave these to dry, and then I'll show you in what will be a tick for you and a lot longer for me. I'll show you them when they're dried and what they look like. Alright, so this is the first one that I dipped. You can see that's come out really pretty. Beautiful metallics. Really pretty. I hope that's focusing. It's hard, I can't really see from here. And the matching earrings. Sorry, I've got some dogs playing in the background. So they all look lovely together. They turned out really well. So what happens is then that will be put into, see, this is just a metal tray, and they just fit in there. You just work out exactly how you want it. Well, first of all, I would scrape this off. I won't do it here over this, but you just go around and scrape this off. In fact, if you look up in the top right hand corner, I'll give you the link to a video that I've done that shows me scraping the excess paint off, and it's got me gluing some in, so you can see how that's done through that video. But you can see how these will turn out looking, and some little really simple earrings, and you glue those in like that and they end up looking really pretty. And then that will go in there, and then you have your set. And I sell these or similar in a local art and craft shop in Donnybrook, Western Australia, Artisans, and they sell for a set for $35 Australian. And yeah, and or else I sell the earrings separately for 20, or the pendant separately for 20. So it's just something to keep in mind that you could do if you wanted. So then I think I maybe did this one next, which was where I did the bits of white and the purple in it. Hope you can see that. So that's turned out really pretty too. Sort of gives it an extra dimension, adding the paint on top, I think. So just trying to get it so you can see it. And these are the earrings to match, and they turn out really pretty, I think. They're gorgeous. So again, they will go, I think that would look nice that way up. Looks a bit like a flower, and these look a bit like flowers. So again, they can be put into little earrings like this. And you get your set. Bring it up a bit closer for you to see. I just glue them in with the E6000 glue. So yeah, I think they'll make a very pretty little set. And then I did this one next, I think. Remember that one that I did? And there's a little bit of white in it, and it's got all those lovely purples and aquas, and hopefully it's focusing all right for you to see. That's really lovely. So that would go into a tray like this one. Alright, and the earrings, you see there's actually, remember I dipped that one a bit too deeply in, but you see it scrapes off. And it's probably been a week actually since I dipped these. You're just got to be careful when you're doing this that you're not going to peel it off the back, or you're going to lose your pattern. So you just sort of scrape it so that you're cutting it on the edge. I just use my fingernails. You could use a little tool if you wanted. Anyway, I would do that all the way around. And then put them in the little tray. And there's your earring. These are silver plated, lovely little trays for the oblong or rectangular. So glue those in. like that. And there's your set. So they'll look pretty too. And what else did I do? Oh, this was another one. Just, I think that might have been the first, oh, I can't remember. I have to look back at the video. That just had a little bit of the white in there. Just gives it that little bit of extra interest. Rather, like this is the one that was just plain. But adding that little bit of white, I think it just makes it that little bit more interesting. And then they had these, where are they? These to match, just with a little bit of white in them as well. So they'll make a pretty set as well. And then I've got this one. I think that's gorgeous. I've either mislaid the earrings or maybe I didn't make earrings with this one. But I've got these little owl pendants. I could do something like that, put that in there for a bit of fun. That's quite sweet. Alright, so I think that does it. Thank you so much for watching, and please hit the like button, the thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video. Let me know that you've enjoyed it. Sorry about that dog snoring in the background. And yeah, hey, thanks heaps for subscribing. I really do appreciate that. It helps me heaps on my art journey, my YouTube journey. The more subscribers you have, it helps YouTube to know that people want to watch your videos, I suppose, and you're more likely to be recommended to other people if you've had lots of or if you've got lots of subscribers. And also just viewing them, hey, thanks heaps for that. And of course the more minutes you spend viewing, the better it is for we artists. Alright, so yeah, thanks heaps. Oh, I've got a Facebook group called Acrylic Pouring and More for all types of artists at all levels. So if you'd like to join that, that would be fun. Okay, thanks heaps for watching, and I'll catch you again soon. Alright, bye for now.